Back, we're punk. Okay, need to clear my head. Hi. Oh wow, there is really little left. Yeah. Sad. Sad voice. Okay. Bye, mom. Thank you, mom. That was my mom. So today's actually going to be kind of a big day. We're going to do a few new things. Well, not new things, but this is kind of just warm up uh, to what the actual day is going to be like. Um, and also, I feel weird. Mike, good to see you, buddy. Sup, sup, sup. Um, yeah, what I was saying was, oh, no worries. No worries, my friend. Okay, well, I guess I can pick one then. I've been good. I've been good. How's it been with you, my bud? Yes. This is Bigfoot. So we got a big day ahead of us. I do draw a lot these days. This is Bigfoot. I try and do several things now. In fact, well, today is going to be interesting because it's going to be a we're going to do a role playing game in about an hour or so, but not right now, but in about an hour. How's it going with you, my bud? Hey, hey, Ray the Rabbit. Tell me of this dream. I want to know of this dream. Okay, you were in a bathroom. What were you doing in that bathroom? Partying? Were you doing coke? Were you doing coke, Callie? Be honest. Not, you weren't chasing the white dragon. Good. Tell me about this. Tell me more. Tell me more. Tell me more. What? You have positioned yourself as the arbiter. How dare you, Callie? Positioning yourself as the arbiter of fate in a cruel and uncaring universe. What are you thinking? Yeah, and Mike, yeah, I have been drawing a lot these days. I like drawing. And sometimes when you don't have a lot of ideas for writing, you draw. Keeps the conversation. Something I can do, and I can keep the conversation kind of flowing pretty endlessly. Callie! Would you? My window. Fly to where? Wombat Baron! My goodness! Long time no see. How's it going? Yeah, Callie won the election and is the prime minister of the stream. I've been good. Trying to do some exciting new stuff. I'm taking an art class. Yes, because Callie is the people's representative. I'm taking an art class, um, which is an interesting experience. I'm I'm always trying to think of ways to shake up the stream, so we're doing something new today. Not this. I do this all the time, but something very new in about about let's see, it's 5 right now. About 3 hours. Probably won't do this for super long. We'll see. How's it been going with you? How's life? Have you got your new podcast up and going? Playing any new games lately? I still try and space those alerts out, but they seem to happen. They seem to happen within each other too often. Oh well, another time. Yeah. God, I'll tell you this. I really want to start a podcast. It's a thing I've been wanting to do for a long time. Next to starting a webcomic, which is the other thing I really want to do. Who knows? I had an idea for a comic based one that kind of fell through because of me. Because of me, I, I was trying to do too much at once. Um, I don't know what I'd want to start it about. Um, I listen to a lot of comedy podcasts. You know, have you ever heard of Comedy Bang Bang or Hollywood Handbook or stuff like that? Uh, that's the other good one that I like a lot. Um, like maybe like to do something like that. What's your podcast about? I also had an idea for a true crime podcast. I know, uh, but I think I have an interesting take on it. I want to do a true crime podcast, but I want it to be about not about like minor crimes, but um like about the who are like the most powerful criminals in the world, like who are the heads of the various who are the heads of the various major crime families and stuff is what I was more interested in. Like, do you know that the Russian mob is mostly run by one guy, Simon Maganovich, I believe is how do you say his name? Anyways, that was kind of my idea. Like, I had this idea since most true crime shows are about the lower class crimes, um, which I don't know. If you look, I wanted to like examine it from another angle. So, my idea was like instead of doing Mean Streets or Goodfellas, you do Casino. Anyways, what else? Um, Comedy Bang Bang is great. One of my favorite podcasts ever. Next, Hollywood Handbook is my other favorite. Then there's Andy Daly's Bananas for Bonanza, which is also another really good one. Or Andy Daly's Podcast Pilot Project, which is a great show. If you've never heard of that one. Or maybe just like a chat show. I don't know. Just something simple to do. Oh, Teacher's Lounge. Oh, that is so funny. I re-listened to that recently. I love that show. I guess they're doing more on their own website, but you have to pay for that. I'm like, Rebel Girl. That song has been stuck on my. I heard that song. I heard the song today, and it's been stuck in my head all day. Sure, I'll hydrate. I'll make your dreams come true. Uh, 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 uh. Was about to spill it on my mic. So, Boo, how are things going? Spend away. Stocks? Are you getting? Are you getting into the stock trading game? That is a difficult game. Yeah, well, it's good. It's good that there's a life outside of Twitch. I don't understand this concept. Oh boy. Oh, okay. So you're shorting things. Ray, do you know exactly what that means, though? Right? Okay, yeah, but I mean, it's not the worst. But you do know what you're on the hook for, right? Like you understand the risks of a short, right? You are aware that short, you could potentially. There's no end to the amount of money you can lose. You are aware of the risks of doing that, right? As opposed to traditional stock trading. So so you know that shorting things means that there's no end to the amount of money that you'll lose, right? You know that, right? Okay, but that means so Ray, what a short is a insured bet against future going up. But so Ray, what I'm trying to say is, as opposed to traditional stock trading, there's no limit to the amount of money you can lose on a short. So if you buy a stock, say you buy 50 shares of, let's say a stock is $1 a share and you buy 50 shares. If the stock goes down 0, you lose $50. Sad, but with a short, if the stock keeps going up, you will keep losing money constantly. Well, your fucking app is lying to you. That is not true. A short you can lose a lot of money doing. Shorts don't work. The theory of shorting doesn't work unless you can potentially lose as much money as possible. A short won't work unless that happens. Are you sure you're shorting it? There's a few other things you could be doing. Are you option trading? By the way, don't do option trading. If you're inexperienced with stock trading, don't do option trading. You're using Robinhood, right? Oh boy, you're. Oh. Ray, do you understand what option trading? That's a lot. Have you been going? Or have you been going on to? Have you been going on to Wall Street Bets? What are you investing in, Ray? What are you investing in? Yeah. What are you investing in, Ray? What companies? What money do you have in? Are you doing SPY? Don't. Oh God. God, don't go to them now that I put that idea in your head. Because I know a lot of people got into Wall Street Bets after. You're doing GoPro? Are you making money right now, Ray? I don't like giving people financial advice on things. How much money do you have in GoPro, Ray? I know the market is closed. I know, but you can still look. You can still look at your stuff. Oh, okay. Well, I guess that shouldn't be too bad. Be careful with that short stuff, right? Though it's really easy to get yourself way exposed on shorts. Yeah. Well, and option trading is. Ray, promise me that you'll actually read what option trading is. You're trading on options. That's a little bit different. Yeah, Ray. Learn what option trading actually is, okay? Can you promise me that? Because even as a person who has been trading trading on the stock market for years, I'm still not totally. I will say this personal experience. I'm going to say this with personal experience, Ray. I have had family members who have gone broke doing option trading before. It's hard and it's difficult, and you can lose a lot of money really quickly. But for one share, it's probably fine. But be careful. Options are maybe the most volatile of the trading strategies. Yeah, you can trade on credit. It's not advised, but you can if you want to. It's called margin. It's called betting on. It's called buying on margin. I don't like Robinhood. I've never liked Robinhood. I always think it's a little sleazy. Robinhood makes it too easy for people to trade. Trading is a long game. So, um, but Ray, what I'm saying to you, and I'm making this very clear to you, Ray. Learn what you're actually doing with your money. Okay. You can make money on option trading, but I want you to learn. I want you to go up right now. I'll even try and find a good video for you about option trading. Okay. I just want you to know what it is. Okay. Before you make any other moves, like know exactly what you're actually doing. Oh, there we go. I found a good video on it. Here we go. Oh boy, that looks super lopsided. This one's about 20 minutes long. There's also a good website called Stock Trading, or like stock. It's called Stock Wikipedia or something. 1 second. So so um so the big thing with option trading is that you have to sell it by a certain date usually. So what's your strike date with your stock? What's your strike date? What's your strike date with your stock? That's what you're really. That's again. But what's your strike date? What's your strike date, Ray? Yeah. Okay. Have you made money on it yet? Ray, I had a family member go. Ray, I had a family member go broke trading with options. Like, no, but I had a family member go completely broke trading on options. So, um, and he was like a millionaire before then. Before he got into this option trading stuff. So it's a thing I'm. It's I've always been worried about. I've always been worried about options. I usually when I talk to people about this stuff, I usually advise like beginning stock traders to like stick to easier to understand things. But Robinhood should tell you how much money you've made on it so far. How much money you would make if you sold it. Almost every stock trading, does it do that? I don't know. I don't know enough. I don't really use Robinhood. Mine tells you how much money you've made. How much money you would make by selling it at. I'm not saying you're doing wrong, Gray. I'm just buy is okay. So here's basic. Uh, buy is pretty simple to understand. You buy a stock at a price, and if the price goes up, you make money. If the price goes down, you lose money. And it's all about kind of trying to figure out where the price is. That's pretty simple. Let's see. I mean, they're not doing. Let's see. What are some ETFs going on right now that you could? So buy means you're literally just buying a share of a stock. Um, yeah, and I saw Mike ask this question. Yes, you can buy stocks on credit. That's called trading on margin. It's a risky idea because it means that if you're not making money, the bank can do a thing called a margin call, which is where they force you to sell the stocks at a certain price, whatever price it is. I have been hit by margin calls. They suck. I'm a very cautious investor, but I don't know. By the way, so this is me simply giving out advice as a friend to a friend. I claim no expertise in the stock market, and I have no experience other than personal hobby investing. Yeah, Apple's good. Apple's pretty good. I've made a lot of money from Apple lately. My whole thing lately has been okay. I just I like Apple is good. I used to make. Yes, you can do that. That's called that's a thing Schwab. I know Schwab is doing it, and maybe it's called a it's called a slice. If you're curious about that, I mean, you could always technically buy more than less than one share. It's just they never let you do that before. It was always legal to do that. Um, hmm. I lately I've been liking like luxury stocks and things like Louis Vuitton and stuff is a thing I like, and I'm kicking myself for getting out of Ferrari before it really hit a big up market. My mom loves Rolls Royce as a trading. She trades with Rolls Royce all the time. Or you could do. A lot of people also, if they can't afford like an Apple stock, what they do is they'll invest in a tech ETF. If you want to do that, so ETFs are investments, like investment, small investment things. So it's essentially it's an investment fund that ETF is an investment fund that collects a bunch of different stocks together, and you can trade that instead. So if you want to like say invest in Apple but don't have all the money to get like an Apple share, look for a FANG. I think it's called FANG, and it's a ETF. And there's tons of them, and they pop up all the time. And it will trade. I forget what it stands for. I like ETFs. When I made a lot of money, I tended to trade with ETFs, but they're very overexposed now, so I don't know. Oh, be careful with them because there's a lot of fly by night ones that pop up. Here's what else. Right now it's a buyer's market, so but be careful with that. Let's see. Which one should you get into? I got it in good rate. I like the lately. I've been liking the luxury stocks, but why does it look wrong? Looks better, I guess. ETFs are fun. You can do a lot of things with ETFs. But ETFs are also a way to invest in bigger stocks without having to spend as much money. I would say look at things like SPY, and SPY is a good one to kind of play with. And what's the other one? There's two. DIA is one. SPY represents the, I forget what SPY technically represents. I believe SPY is the Nasdaq, represents the Nasdaq, and DEA represents the Dow Jones Index. DIA represents the Dow Jones Index, if I remember correctly. So and those mean two different things. The New York Stock Exchange is pretty much most stocks, whereas the Dow Jones Index is the top earner of each major industry. So basically what Dow Jones, the DIA can go up pretty quickly, but it can also crash pretty badly, whereas the SPY goes up slower, but is not prone to as big crashes. Another good one to look at for starting people. I've invested. I've made good money from the New Zealand and as a New Zealand ETF. I forget what it's called at the moment. Try and think of things that are kind of recession proof. Also try and think future proof. What are people going to need in the future? Is a good way. Avoid like kind of FOMO-y stuff. I say that, and I chickened out. on GameStop, so maybe I'm, what the fuck do I know, right? All these people just made a bunch of money from GameStop and I didn't. You know, what the fuck do I know? Because it's just like GameStop is like a bad company that does bad things to people. I'm like, and it's just like I just couldn't believe, go like every instinct in me is like GameStop is gonna fail. It's badly run. It's badly run. The people in charge are kind of stupid. But I was wrong, so I don't know. The new short squeeze stuff is an interesting development. I wholeheartedly approve of it, but it's also something I'm not totally prepped to handle. I don't know. It makes me nervous, that short squeeze stuff, because it's like, ooh, well, what do you? Best Buy is okay. Um, look at its trading. Look at two things. Look at its trading volume and the price over like the past 2 years. And if it's doing well on both fronts, give an investment. Be careful of what's called a bear trap. So I like the term dead cat bounce. So here's the kind of the basic. Sorry about that. Basic idea. Um, I'm trying to not to give people like I'm just giving you kind of like basic financial advice I've gotten. I'm so I don't really know. I haven't really looked that far into Best Buy. So bear trap is basically this: stock is going down, stock is going down, stock is going down. Um, there's a little bump. It's called a bear trap or a dead cat bounce each turn, and then it goes back down. And there's a few reasons that happen. Usually, if a stock is going down, there'll be a group of people who try and buy it, thinking it might go up, and that'll make it go up a little bit, but the fundamentals is bad. Yes, yes, there is infinite loss. Yes, you can lose a lot of money in options trading, man. Trust me. I've had family members who have lost tons of money doing options. I am being very serious, Ray. A family member of mine was a millionaire, and then they got obsessed with options trading and lost it all. They, of course, had the bad luck of doing options trading in right as a recession hit. So I'm not qualified to give people a financial advice. So I want to make that very clear. Um, I'm just giving you personal experience of things that have happened to me. Anyways, just be careful. Is all I'm saying, Ray. Just be careful. And you probably won't lose infinite money, especially when you have an investment that low. And I thought you were just shorting. You're doing option trading, which is different. No, no, no. It won't. It won't. It won't make you go broke. You won't go broke. You won't go broke with that low of a trade. And if I remember correctly, GoPro is not super high at the moment. You could, but that's always a risk with any investment. That's always a risk with any investment that you could lose money. I GoPro to me is something I haven't cared about in years as a stock trading thing. So I don't I haven't looked at it. I'm just saying, yeah, yeah, but it's also it's I like a lot of we'll see. I mean, I would say GoPro probably does best around Christmas. So, but it's not really that it was for a brief time it was a big deal. It's not a big deal anymore. It was kind of a fad thing. Professional camera people can still great use of GoPros, but for like a public consumer based thing, nobody really uses them anymore. Yeah, well, every stock does that. The problem with GoPros is essentially at a certain point you're going like, well, my phone is just as big as is only a little bit bigger than a GoPro, and it has all these other options. Now, for professional camera people, GoPros are amazing, and there's a lot of uses for them. But look at the price, man. You got to look at the price. What did you get your what did you buy it at, and what is it right now? Pretty much, it seems like. Let's see. GoPro stock price. What did you get it at? I mean, what's your strike price? Oh, Ray. No. Okay. And what's your strike price? Yeah, you're gonna lose money. What's your strike? Uh, Ray, it should say if you're doing option trading, you're not gonna lose a lot of money, Ray. You're gonna lose. What's your strike price, Ray? That's the key. If you're option trading, it should tell you your strike price. It's probably Ninth. Okay. So, and you bought puts and not. Did you um did you buy a put or did you buy what is or just a normal? Okay, so okay, you bought puts, so it's 850. It's 850. Yeah, you're down $3. You're okay. So you bought two shares. It's 850. That's my least. I'm just doing some basic math here. Um, yeah, call right. Yeah, I forgot what it was called. So you're down $1.06. Ironically, GoPro would have been a good if you just bought GoPro normally. You would have been up that. Yeah, you're down $1.06, but nothing, nothing to worry about. I just wanted you to understand. I Nothing to worry about. I just wanted you to understand what you're doing, Ray. Ray ain't making any money. Ray lost money. Let's see. Um, what is it? What you need to be looking for is right earnings report. Companies with earnings reports coming up. Okay. Let's see what is coming up. Bed Bath and Beyond. I know Bed Bath and Beyond. Let's see. How's Bed Bath and Beyond doing? Let's see. Investor Palace is giving Bed Bath Beyond. Okay. Um. Okay. So here. So here's the way to make money. You got to keep abreast of what company is announcing their earnings report. That's when the stock will most dramatically shift. That's when the stock will most dramatically shift is when the earnings reports are being announced. Um, So yeah, because GoPro sucks. Yeah, yeah. Ray was betting against it. And it's doing well for the first time in a while because Christmas is approaching. It'll do well. It'll do well. So Bed Bath and Beyond is doing has one coming out pretty soon. That could be something to bet on. If the company beats its expectations, usually that's a good. Usually the stock will jump way up, which is always good, and you can make money that way. Um, that's when it'll fluctuate most. Always also look for something called dividend. If yeah, look for dividends. Look divid what are they? Oh, they're called dividends, right? Uh, what stocks are having dividends? I might be. Okay, let's see. That's always a that's always a good investment option. Dividends are literally companies will pay you money for holding their stock, and that's a good way to make money. You can also make money on. There's a bunch of ways to make money off the dividend day. Um, one of the things um, Disney has a famous one. Berkshire Hathaway has a famous one. Who else? Who else has famous ones? Let's Di- dividend stocks are good investment opportunities. Always try and get a dividend if you can. It's better to look around for dividends. And what's good about if you really want, dividend days are usually days when the stock jumps because a lot of people will try and buy in on. So dividend days are to explain. Dividend days are usually a company rewarding you for keeping their stock. They'll pay you a percentage for keeping their stock. They'll pay you money. Usually, it's like 30% of how many shares you have. Um, and so, what people will do a lot of times is pick the day that you have to have it by, which is called the dividend day, to buy in so that they can get the dividend. And that means the stock will jump really high, usually on dividend day, which is good. And a lot of people actually rather will sell on the dividend day because you can make more money doing that. But dividends are good. Buffett really likes dividends. Um, Try and look for downline things. Sometimes stocks themselves, big company stocks, are hard to invest in, but um, say look for the chip or like one of the famous ones. If looking for chip manufacturers and of Apple products is a good investment usually. I believe Apple is going to be start making their own chips, but think in those terms, like thinking downline, think downline, think downlines. Look for any company that has a big thing coming out. A couple of I invest in a lot in Apple, and one of the classic things is when a new phone comes out, Apple's stock price goes up. Look for earning days. That's a good time to get. That's a good time for money. Um, Try and find, you got to do research. Think of things you're interested in, and try and find companies that trade. Think of stuff you know really well, and try and find companies that trade with that. I made some money investing in video games, video game companies at one point in my life. Lost a lot of money doing that too, but that's because I got greedy. Um, Caution is good. FOMO, yeah, caution is good. Remember, FOMO is bad. Never succumb to FOMO. fear of missing out. If you hear a stock had a big pop off and a lot of people made a bunch of money on it, do not run and invest in that stock. Do not run and invest in that stock. You will lose money. I've done that too many times. How am I ancient? Is FOMO an ancient term? I'm just trying to think of basic, good investment advice. Yeah. What else? God damn it. Epic. Epic does not trade on the stock market. Epic is not is not a publicly traded company. Trust me, I would have gotten Epic if it was. No, I mean it's not going to go back no matter what. That court. I mean the thing about it is they both lost and they both won. Is the thing. Epic doesn't want to come back. Is the thing though. Yeah, Epic is not a. I guess if you could invest in Tencent, that owns like 10%. Tencent is, I guess, a company you can invest in. I don't know a lot about the Chinese market, so I'm not gonna comment on it. Sort of. They both won and they both lost. So the thing about that lawsuit is, Apple maintained the right to charge a percentage of sales on on the on in-app purchases. They won that right, but uh, apps now have the right to sell in-app purchases on their websites and tell people about it. So, you know, and you know, yes, Fortnite is a big deal, but Fortnite was not the end all and be all of things on Apple. You know, Apple was doing. Just cannot get this to look straight. Damn. So it's a weird victory where nobody really won it, but also nobody, uh, you know, uh, nobody won anything. But everybody moved on from what is bullshit. From Fortnite, and everybody's playing that Avengers game now, right? That's what we're all playing is the Avengers. That's everybody's favorite games. that hit game. Um, yeah. Well, it's a very flat stock. It's a very flat stock, so you got to deal with stuff like that. 1 second. I'll be right back. I got a quick wrap. Be right back. So, hey, so Ray, with stuff like that, what you want to look for is something with like a lot of variation. That's where you make the money. The problem with GoPro is it's a really flat stock, so it's not going to go up by a lot, and it's not going to go down by. I mean, I don't know. I've been out of it. I haven't really focused on stock trading in a long time, so in a bit, so I'm a little out of it. But try and look for something with a lot of volatility, something that goes up and down a lot. That's where you make your money. It's just I want you to practice best. Oh well, just think of what. Just think of stuff. I mean, there's a lot of places you can go to. Uh, look for there should be a tab. There should be a thing that is most actively traded stocks. Is the thing you can look for. Um, like what stuff would you be interested in investing in? Like I'm kicking myself for not investing in Disney. Dumb. I don't know why I didn't invest in Disney, especially during the pandemic. Okay, Adobe's a good stock. How's Adobe doing? Look up Adobe. Yeah. Nope, can't afford that. Rolls Royce. Look up. My mom really loves Rolls Royce. Look up Rolls Royce. That should be a more affordable one. That one's pretty volatile. What you're looking for, Ray, and especially at the level you are now, is you're looking for a cheap stock that's pretty volatile. You're going to want to look for a term called penny stock, Ray. That's what you want to look for. You want to look for a term called penny stock. Yeah. Did you look? Try Rolls Royce. I haven't looked it up in a while. That's a good one. Rolls Royce stock price. Oh yeah, yeah. Rolls Royce is a good one. It's $1.78. And is it volatile? Yes, it is. Ooh, but it has been doing fantastic. Yeah, it's pretty high up right now, but it's pretty volatile also. So that's a good one. It's actually at a really high. It's at a high right now. So might be a good investment. Who knows? I don't know. I don't really follow that scene all that much. Yeah. I know there's a lot of enthusiasm with cannabis stocks. I haven't made any money on it, but theoretically there should be money to be made from that. Let's see what else. I forget what it stands for. It's essentially it's an investment fund. It's an investment fund that's traded on the market, and usually they hold bigger stocks in them. It's a way to invest in bigger stocks without paying as much money. So, say if you want to invest in Apple, but you can't afford to buy shares of Apple, look for an ETF that trades a lot of Apple, and it'll usually be at a much lower price. But Ray, I would say stick around the penny stocks right now. That's where you're going to be comfortable. They're also called the pink exchange traded fund. Yeah, that's what it is. I used to I like investing with ETFs. I liked investing in nations, which is crazy to say, but you can invest in national things. You gotta research them on the internet, Ray. Go to google.com, go to www.google.com, go to the search bar and type in penny top penny stocks. Ignore that. I'm giving you an advice though. I'm telling you. Okay. Top penny stocks. Ignore the ads. Okay, let's see what Investor Topipedia says. Best value penny stocks are okay. They're saying Excel Technologies is a business processing automation company. For accounting, human resources. Announced that it had completed at market equal. Oh, okay. So XLA is a there's SOS is a China-based holding company through subsidiaries. SOS offers financial services including customer credit and emergency rescue services as well as insurance products. Customer lending that would be useful. A lot of TD Holdings is a China-based holding company engaged in car rental and commodity trading businesses, supply chain. Okay, fastest growing. We got some here. FutureFin is a group of blockchain e-commerce company that provides online shopping platform incubator for block-based. So essentially, they're a blockchain shopping company based in China, which is good. PowerBank is a Canadian-based automotive technology. Okay, that works. Okay, this is a good one. There we go. Yes. So find stuff that you think looks good. My I'm gonna give you a recommendation. Something that has made people a lot of money. Rolls Royce is a good one. Try Rolls Royce. That's why they're called penny stocks, right? They're also called pink. They're also called pink sheets, or the pink stocks, um, because back in the old days, there used to be, I forget what it is. It's pink, yellow, and blue, and the pink sheets were the cheapest ones stocks you could get, and the blues are the most expensive. Those are called blue chip stocks. I would say really research those, find some good ones, and maybe stick with those for just a little bit of time. Also, try and find any cheaper ETFs that have really good holdings. And that's good for you right now. always be always be careful. Remember, always be careful. This is your money. This is your money. Your This is your money, and you're taking a risk with it. So always be careful. Piece of advice I used to give to people who are interested in the stock market is I always said the money that you're using for your stock trading should be money that you're okay with losing. What I meant by that is like don't use money that you need. Use extra money that you have kind of left over to trade. That's, and I know that's a big like oh, you need extra money. And I'm like yeah, well if yeah, what I'm saying is like make sure your food and your rent and all that stuff is paid for. Like don't trade your rent money. Don't trade your rent money is what I want is what I'm trying to emphasize here. Don't be like those guys on Wall Street bets. Those totally real things that Wall Street bet guys actually do. Those 100% real posts that the Wall Street bets guys are 100% being sincere about and aren't just doctoring to make themselves look impressive. By the way, Ray, you can trade after hours, right? Like you can trade after the market is closed, right? You know that, right? I actually think this is turning out pretty okay. pretty good. I kind of like this thing. I'm actually attempting to shade, which is a thing I need to get better at. I'm drawing a still from the. Have you guys seen the trailer for the new Macbeth movie? Uh, um, half of the Coen brothers are directing. So weird that there's going to be just a Joel Coen movie. No, no Coen brothers. If Ethan, I love the Coen brothers; they're my favorite directors of all time. But if Ethan wants to retire, Ethan can retire. I'm actually curious what a Joel Coen movie is, as opposed to a Coen brother movie. I have to admit, I'm curious what that is. It's something I'm interested in. As we'll finally get to see what brother influences what. You know. Tell me about it. Have you guys seen the trailer for the new for Macbeth with Denzel? Yeah, Macbeth. They're making a Denzel is gonna be Macbeth in a Joel Cohen movie, which is a weird sentence. Um, if you don't know who Joel Cohen is, he is one of the Cohen brothers. Usually, the Cohen brothers direct together, but they aren't doing it this time, which is a strange phenomenon.
By the pricking of my thumbs, something wicked this way comes.
Shakespeare. Seems like we're getting a lot of really good looking medieval movies. There's the new Ridley Scott thing that looks really good with Damon and Adam Driver. Yeah, it's a classic. It's a classic tragedy. It's a Shakespearean tragedy. It's one of the definitive tragedies. Like in a classical sense, it's one of the definitive tragedies. Like you look up literary definition of tragedy, they might cite literally cite Macbeth. Um, Tell me that you did Macbeth in school, right? You did Macbeth in school. Uh, Mike, Boo, did you do Macbeth? I don't know if you did Macbeth, but in the U.S. we usually do a Macbeth. Usually there's a Macbeth course where you do a set where you read Macbeth in school. Do you not know what Macbeth is, Ray? Really? It's a Shakespearean play. Oh, I know. You mean the Scottish play? No, it's a Shakespearean tragedy. It's a play from Shakespeare, William Shakespeare. So which books did you read in high school? Okay, so Macbeth is it's a classic tale. Macbeth is a classic tale. It concerns a warrior by the name of Macbeth, who after successfully defeating an army, him and his friend are on the return are in Scotland, are returning to his home when he encounters three witches called the Weird Sisters. And the Weird Sisters have tell Macbeth of a prophecy that he is destined to be king of Scotland. Which, Macbeth is not unthrilled with the idea. Problem is, Macbeth is not the king of Scotland, and in fact, Macbeth has just won a major war uh, for the king of Scotland, and Macbeth is nowhere near the royal succession. But with the power of prophecy on his hand, he enacts his daring campaign to overthrow the with the power of prophecy and his very very opinionated wife on the matter, Lady Macbeth. They enact a plan to well, Ray, I'm going to tell you, it don't end happy, Ray. It don't end happy for old Macbeth here. Because they succeed in it, but Macbeth succeeds in taking the Scottish throne, but it's the actions he does to take the Scottish throne will ensure his death. It will mean Macbeth betrays people he loves, uh, people he fought against, his kingship, and it ends in his death. So it's the tragedy of Macbeth. It's not a happy ending. Well, well, that is a literary debate question. Exactly how much influence the witches have over Macbeth, and it's often up to the interpretation of the various actors playing Macbeth over the years. Is Macbeth a man of great driven personality, of ambition, who once the witches tell him that he is destined to conquer, destined to rule over Scotland, does it drive his ambition towards achieving that goal? Is he magically manipulated? What does his wife have to do with this idea? All are valid interpretations.
and ultimately, and you could certainly make an interpretation that in the end Macbeth was a weak-willed man who was forced by the machinations of fate to do something, who had no true ideas of his own and was a plaything of more powerful entities. Oh, you have Ray, and that's the rub. In the ancient world, prophecy always comes true, but it's all he did get to rule Scotland for a brief time, but it ended with his death and destruction. And that's the rub in the ancient world, Ray, and in ancient tragedies. Prophecies always come true, but there's always it's always at a terrible, ironic price. That's the definite truth with a prophecy. It's all the. But did you not? I'm a bit of a Shakespeare scholar, if I do say so myself, Ray. So did you not? So did you really not take this in high school? Right? I thought everybody took Macbeth in high school. Do they not teach Macbeth anymore? Did you read any Shakespeare plays in high school? Because usually they make you read one. Much to the annoyance of people. Really, you didn't read any? I'm. Did you not read Romeo and Juliet? That's usually the other one they'll make people read. I'm one of the rare people in the world who has no trouble understanding Shakespearean dialogue. So, because I'm very used to it at this point, so I can pretty much I usually can easily understand what they're saying. So, to me, it's just a normal movie, you know. Okay. But Macbeth is great, by the way. If I haven't made that clear, Macbeth is fantastic. It's one of Shakespeare's best plays. It's also one of his shortest. Little history lesson. Macbeth. The reason part of the reason why it's so short is that it was written with King James in mind. So the story historically, what's going around Macbeth is that Shakespeare's longtime patron, Queen Elizabeth, died, and King James, who was Scottish, ascended the throne. Now you know King James. There's from King James Bible, but is him. But what am I saying? There's things. There's also the so King James was Scottish, and um, King James was a Scot, and what am I thinking? And there's a whole history about that, but it means that he probably focused on Scottish history to try and appeal to King James. Okay, Ray. Ahem. Ahem. Yeah, well, Romeo and Juliet is another Shakespeare play. It's a famous one. Maybe not his best one. Or maybe it's just over. I think it's more that it's overexposed than anything else. And but yeah. If it were done when 'tis is done, when 'twere as well. If it were done quickly, if the assassination could tremble up the consequence and catch with his secret success, that but this blow might be all and end all here, but here upon this bank. Oh God, I'm very bad at speaking Shakespearean. I like it a lot, but I'm very bad at saying it. But we teach bloody insurrections, which being taught return to the plague the inventor, the even-handed justice commandments, the ingredients of her positioned chalice to our own lips. Here, in the double trust. First, I am his kingsman and his subject, both strong both against the deed. Then, as his host, which should against his murder shut the door, not bear the knife myself. Besides, this Duncan hath borne his facilities so meek, hath been so clear in his great office, that his virtues we plead like angels, trumpeted tongue, against the deep damnation of his taking off, and pity, like a naked newborn babe striding the blast of heaven's cherubs, horns upon the slightness couriers of the air, shall blow the horrid deed in every eye. The tears shall drown the wind. I have no spur to pick the sides of my intent, but only the vaulting ambition, which, oh, leaps itself and falls to the other. Yeah, if you're not enjoying the game, you should not. And that is Shakespeare. So what he's essentially saying is, this is right before he assassinates the king, and he's trying to talk himself out of doing it, essentially. And he's saying there's many reasons. He's his lord, he's his kinsman, and he right now he's staying at his house, so that's an even bigger upset because this is a time when sacred hospitality is a thing. Sacred hospitality is a concept. I have one follower on here who is obsessed with returning the idea of sacred hospitality, and I'm not opposed to it. It's a concept that's hard to explain to modern people. If the game is making you unhappy, Ray, you should not force yourself to play it. Okay, I'm gonna probably log off soon, but come back 8 my time because it's 7:22 for me right now. Come back around 8 maybe 8:30. And we're gonna do something fun. I'm gonna be doing something fun, and hopefully, it'll be every week. So, we'll talk later. Um, see you around in a little bit. Okay.